Armurus persicus vegetable. Leaves are fondly cooked as vegetable. These are the strap-shaped but narrow lanceolate leaves which grow on the ground, and from the center arises the inflorescence. So you see these are the fruits of Armurus persicus, and this is a simple raceme, unbranched stem having these flowers. And these tender leaves stand chopped to cook some delicious wild vegetable. So sometimes we confuse this with allium. Allium is basically piyaz, and there are many species of allium even growing in the forests. But mostly the allium leaves, they are aromatic, one character. So if you pluck this leaf and then smell it, it is not aromatic. So this is one distinguishing feature. You can differentiate the two. Other is, in case of allium, these flowers and ultimately they are fruits, they are borne in umbel fashion. They are born at the summit of the peduncle, that is the flowering stem. They are not arranged like this. They are here in case of Armurus, this is unbranched, and here is a flower, now it is a fruit, here also flower, then fruit, and this way this is a kind of raceme. So this leafless stem bears flowers. This is another feature of the family Asphodelaceae, to which Shatavar belongs, and we are familiar with Sans Poud, Sans Maya, Asparagus ascendens, and to the same family this Armurus hamalicus as well as Armurus persicus belongs. So this species is Armurus persicus. But in Kishtwar, in Gurez, in Kokonok Daksam, Sinthan, and Pahalgam, we find another species, that is Armurus hamalicus. But it belongs to the same family to which Piazi belongs, Asphodilus tenuifolius belongs. So type genus is Asphodilus, but this family also includes aloe vera, quadcandle, we are familiar medicinal succulent herb. And this Armurus persicus, popularly known as Persian foxtail lily. Another name is Persian desert candle. Whereas similar looking but more robust with much larger leaves and inflorescence is Armurus hamalicus, which is known as Himalayan foxtail lily or desert candle, Himalayan desert candle. So that is native, but this one is basically seen only in Trikota Hills. So far I know its distribution in Trikota Hills in Jammu region, and this vegetable has also been resourced from the same Trikota Hills, where we have the sacred shrine of Vaishno Devi. And this particular plant is known to the locals as whole sag, but many people confuse it as allium species. This is not allium. There is no aroma, and flowers or fruits, they are not arranged in umbels. We have only two species which are growing wild, Armurus hamalicus, high altitude Armurus, and then a bit low altitude Armurus persicus. And this is considered as native to Persia, Iran. And it can be cooked and innovated into various different kinds of cuisines. You can develop whole sag parantha. You can develop whole sag pulao. You can develop or innovate whole sag soup, even whole sag snacks. And this particular plant was displayed yesterday during 1640th tree talk, which was organized on the occasion of World Earth Day celebrated on 22nd April, and the event was hosted by Government Degree College Riyasi, where Professor Ramesh Shatri took a keen interest to display very different plants, lesser known plants. And one of the plants displayed was Ermurus persicus, Persian foxtail or Persian desert candle. And on this plant, even the scholar of Dr. Professor Vinukol has also worked on this plant. And even I think one scholar of Namarta Sharma madam, they are working on this particular plant, reproductive biology. And this is, I think this is one plant, wildly growing plant, which need to be introduced in our parks and gardens. Even one or two samples I could spot in the Botanical Gardens, University of Jammu. But I don't see this plant growing in the herbal garden of Indian Institute of Integrative Medicine. So I would suggest to Indian Institute of Integrative Medicine, previously called a Regional Research Laboratory, to introduce Ermurus persicus in the herbal garden at Chatha, as well as the herbal garden in the Jammu headquarters. As this plant has the beauty of flowers also. Flowers are light pink and tall spike or tall raceme of flowers that is also handsome. When it grows in clumps, if you put many plants together, definitely that adds charm and decoration to the herbal garden. I think this one plant, which is lesser known to Jammuites and only few people in the hills are familiar with this plant, it need to be popularized even by the Department of Floriculture. This particular herb has digestive benefits. It is useful, even health promotion, and these are also being sold in the small town of Tikri as well as Katra, and sometimes you find this vegetable being sold even in the Riyasi town. And as we are in the preparation of People's Biodiversity Register, although this stands framed, documented, but I think there is a scope for further improvement of the People's Biodiversity Register. I doubt if someone has included Ermurus persicus in any People Biodiversity Register. And if they have, then it may not have been treated as the source of wild vegetable, or even the plant which has the potential to go for its cultivation, because this plant is harvested from the wild, and that spoils the ecological balance, that somehow it need not to be uprooted from the natural wilderness, but rather we should adopt the cultivation, and then commercial cultivation can sustain the consumption or commercial use of this plant, which is Ermurus persicus, Persian desert candle, from the family Asphodelaceae, to which aloe vera belongs. So when we celebrate World Earth Day, and then we will be celebrating International Day of Biological Diversity on 22nd May, I think someone need to procure the plants, or these fruits are now almost they are mature. And if fruits are mature, and after I think a couple of weeks, maybe 2 weeks, these will get mature. And then these seeds need to be collected by the Seed Development Division of JK Forest Research Institute. DFO Rakesh Abrol need to take note of this particular plant, and the seeds need to be collected so that they can be sown in the coming monsoon months for having some trial whether its seeds germinate effectively or there is some problem. But since these fruits are available and mostly people harvest it, but still I think this fruiting stem might not be harvested. Mostly leaves are required, but sometimes people in a hurry also pluck this, as I am showing you this fruiting stem. This should not have been plucked. This should have been kept in the field so that it could have matured and seeds could have dispersed and it would have given rise to new plants. So while we harvest wild vegetables from the wilderness, we need to know what we should do and what we should not do. So definitely we should not pluck the fruiting stems, and leaves one can harvest, but even in that I think you can leave 20 or 30% leaves, and you rest you can harvest for consuming as food. But people sometimes don't observe these precautions or these directions, and then there's a ruthless exploitation of such edible, lesser known forest vegetables as I'm showing you, the Armeurus persicus, Persian desert candle, Persian foxtail lily, because the flowers are having the lily-eyed character, but it doesn't belong to Liliaceae. Rather, this is a member of Asphodelaceae, to which Shatavar belongs. And when we talk about Asphodelaceae, not only this, Armeurus persicus or Armeurus hamalicus, even the another wild vegetable from the same family is also exploited as vegetable, and this one is the second one, which is called as Smilex aspera, known to the locals as Kaldaun. Kaldaun, the saag is also very fondly tasted, cooked, innovated by the Dogras of Jammu Hills. And this is a armed, prickly creeper, which is not a shrub or a tree, rather is a climbing plant, and leaves are ovate, and the tender shoots, they are exploited like asparagus, as we are familiar with asparagus, which is called a shatavar and also sold in the market. Like this plant, Smilex aspera, is also developed into various different kinds of cuisines, as Smilex snacks, Smilex soup, Smilex pulao, and this particular plant also I think call for the cultivation. We need to have a cultivation trial of this plant, and it can be grown along the fences, along the periphery of any herbal garden. So this plant also belongs to the same family to which Armeurus belongs, that is Asphodelaceae, named after genus Asphodelus, and that plant is also declining these days in the Jammu outskirts. Otherwise it used to grow plenty during spring. But that's a smaller plant. Armeurus is a larger plant, and this Smilex is a creeper or a climber. These wild vegetables are known to the locals, and local people are harvesting it at their smaller scale. They are not going for its sale in the market. In case of Armeurus persicus, definitely that vegetable is sold in the market. But so far I could not see this Kaldaun, also known as sea whale, or in Gadki Boli it is called as Thitpani. So I have not come across anywhere in Jammu market where this Smilex aspera is being sold or marketed. But locals, people who are residing near to the forests, or it is also growing in the farm fields, and definitely they are going, and during April they are harvesting it and cooking it as vegetable or as soup or as pulao, or even you can go for the Smilex parantha also.